Hey everybody, welcome on into ClayShare Live at 5. I'm Jessica Putnam-Phillips, and tonight we have a special treat. Well, not only do we have these three Pottery Wallie trees that are brand new to me. I just opened them maybe an hour ago out of the box. They just were delivered. A little last minute, right? But I'm going to show you how to use them, not knowing anything about them, which is me, right? I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I kind of do, but I'm going to use these. Plus we have Jeff joining us. He's going to be moderating and answering questions. He's here, linked in here, and we can go to him and chat with him during tonight's broadcast. Now, I want to let you all know that you can save 20% off GR Pottery Forms if you go to their website and use code ClayShare. Not everything is discounted. If it already is discounted in a set or on clearance, then the discount code will not apply. And we also are giving away a set of 3 of these. So one lucky person is going to win a set of the Wallie trees. Now, to enter any of our giveaways, you just go to clayshare.com and you sign up for our emails. Premium members are automatically entered to win all the time. You don't have to watch to win. We will email the winners. Now, I want to just take a minute and give you guys a little bit of information, share some stuff with you. We all know this week has been really tough for a lot of folks in Western North Carolina. I'm a University of North Carolina alumni. I lived there for many years. I have many friends and family still in North Carolina who've been affected by Hurricane Helene and all the flooding. And I've had so many people reach out to me asking what they can do to help out. And I'm going to share with you the best website to just help out generally for craft artists is surfplus.com. .org. That is CERFPLUS.org. Now, Penland was affected, and if you want to help out their craft school, you can go to Penland's website and donate directly. Also, Cheryl Mud Tools, they lost their factory, completely washed away. So you know how much I love these mud tools. I use them every day. They are amazing tools, and they are handmade right there in North Carolina. So if you want to help them out, they do have a way you can donate and help them out. And also, you know, at ClayShare here, we welcome you all sharing people you know who've been impacted by the storm, potters that need help rebuilding. You know, I know it's early days, but if you want to share, please go ahead and do that so we can help each other out. That's what we do here in the pottery community, not just at ClayShare, but just potters and ceramic artists in general. We all help each other out. So I just wanted to give that information out there. And it's been very heartbreaking to see the images coming across the news and hear stories from my friends and family about what has been happening, you know, the recovery and all that. So my prayers and thoughts are with all of them, and we're definitely going to help out as much as we all can. So, all right, so not to be too solemn and get this off to a downer note, but this is important stuff, so I just wanted to share it. All right, so I'm going to be using these. I've never used them before. I know they're new, and I don't know, you guys might have been using them for a little while. I saw some people doing candy corns with these, so not only do you do trees, you could do candy corns or just really cool triangle dishes. So Jeff, if you have anything you ever want to say or add to the conversation about these, you can certainly pop in and just let you know that you...
Oh,
Yeah, Jeff, we're going to go to Jeff. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
hey everybody, it's good to be here. And like Jessica was just saying, our hearts too are there for the people in Western North Carolina, big time. And we had a kind of encouraging thing. Somebody reached out and they wanted to buy everything that they had owned before. So we pulled it up and we made the list for them, but they wanted that just so that they could kind of feel like life was sort of normal. So I think that's inspiring to us to have us help you to get back to normal and kind of make it through those kind of tough times in life. So that's really the main reason we're here. And so hopefully a distraction / our hearts going out to you and everyone else. So yeah, but yeah, so exciting to so yeah, I'm hoping these little trees will bring a little a life to your seasonal needs, and also whether it's Halloween or Christmas or just make kind of fun kind of pizza shaped trees or trays or whatever. So yeah. So, yep.
All right. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. So, I'm just going to do my thing tonight, maybe help take your minds off of things, a little something, um, and also to try these out. This will be really fun. And I kind of want to walk through what happens when I get a new product that I haven't tried before, or if I have an idea for something, and that's what we'll do. And I've got no instructions. I don't know how to do this, which is good, because if you don't know instructions, you can't mess it up, because there's no right way or wrong way. So that's what we're going to do. So normally when I get something, a form, I will look at them, and if it's a set like these are that can stack, immediately I think how, well, I want a rim template, right? But these stack, so I can always use the bigger one as the template for the next size down. Of course, when you get to the larger one, that can be an issue, but the larger one, we could always trace out a bit of clay and use that. So that's probably what we'll do. Now, these are very deep. Jeff, are these 3/4 of an inch or a full inch deep?
They're a full inch deep.
These are a full inch.
Yes, totally.
So,
yeah, a little deeper. I wish they could be even deeper yet, but that's kind of the limitation on the material. And we did have some that were 1.25 inches, but that material is really hard to get. So we're kind of 1 inch is like our best alternative. So yes.
they're nice and deep, which means you can make these really great deep dishes. You can make bakeware with these. How cute, little tree bakeware. And we have a ton of bakeware we did with the Wallie casserole dishes, which are deeper that you have. But absolutely, you could do nice shallow baking dishes with these, and lots of options.
They also nest really well as well.
They nest well, so that's great for storage. Yeah. So let's start out with doing a simple pressed plate with them. That's what I like to do when I first get something, and I go for a smaller shape. So we're going to take the medium size, and I'm going to grab some clay that I have off to the side over here, and I'm just going to cut a piece. And everybody has their own way of working. There's lots of different processes in ceramics, and there's no right way. So I'm just going to show you what I usually do when I get a new product to me to try, or like Jeff sent these to me, and I thought it'd be really, really fun to just jump in with them. All right, so this is some clay I've rolled out to 3/8 of an inch thick. This is actually Tucker's Smooth Stone Spec. I love the spec clay. Jeff, you were just at Tucker's, weren't you?
Yeah. I was there watching them make it.
You were watching them make the clay. Did you bring clay home?
Yeah. So they make about 15,000 pounds of clay a day. So it's they got quite the operation over there.
That's a lot of clay. 15,000 pounds. Woo! Per day, you said.
Yeah.
That's a lot. All right, let's go ahead, and that's going to be enough clay. Well, let's put a texture in it, because this can be a test of a couple things. It can be a test of the shape. It can be a test of how it works with texture. We can go Christmas tree-y, right? We can go Christmassy. So I'm going to grab the Winter Village texture. I think that'll be fun. I was going to go with a really very Christmas one, but this is nice because this is a good winter one that you can use past the holidays. So you're not locked into, January 1st, got to put that away. No. You keep that out all winter. So let me go ahead and line this up. We're just going to cut out. Jeff, what's your favorite way to use these Wallies?
I think this is how you're doing it. Is this cutting out a general shape, and it's different using the Wallies, right? It's a whole different process. So honestly, I'm still figuring it out myself of like how to what is the best way. And I think that's what's kind of nice about these is that you can make a lot of them so pretty quickly.
Absolutely. The shape we were talking about, Kevin and I were talking about like mid-century modern design and how it's so popular, and it has been for a little while, but how it really is taking off. Especially we're seeing a lot in the pottery world. So I think these have a flair to them like that. So they very much will work with those who are looking for that sort of design. All right, so I got this mattress here that I'm going to use to press my plates in. It was my daughter's toddler mattress. I've had it for many, many years. And it's always funny because she's not still a toddler, just so nobody's worrying about my child not having a place to sleep. I didn't steal her bed. But it's just where I got it, because everybody asks, where did you get that big giant chunk of mattress? And look how thick it is, because it's really, really thick. But it's really, really dense memory foam. It's really great for this. And I have some smaller pieces of it that are from a memory foam pillow. You can use upholstery from an old sofa, chair cushions, but I like to have about 3 to 4 inches thick of foam to do big press plates. This is huge. And I have done press plates that are 15 inches across with this foam, which is a little, I would say ambitious. Don't do press plates on big things. I don't do that anymore. I try to keep it to 8 inches or smaller with press plates because I find they warp a little bit too much. So you just line up your form, and this is how I do all press plates. And I usually use my smaller piece of foam. So I just turn it around, and then you press. This one, it might be a little high for me to actually get a good press on it. Do you think I could go on my tiptoes? Press and rock. And do you see how the shape just kind of pops up and conforms? Isn't that great? And then you can just flip it out onto a board. I got some boards down here. And so the best thing about press plates is they're that immediate gratification, right? You press it in and you just wiggle the form out, and you can use the form again. And a lot of times we have to wait for the form to set up, the clay to set up on the form, but with this we don't have to. So look at that little guy right there, like a nice deep plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff likes it. Jeff likes the plate. So that's a good test. Now I'm going to do one where we go more freestyle with it, and we'll go to the next size up. And let's use the biggest one. So if you don't get the set, Jeff, you can buy these separately, correct? You don't have to buy the set of 3?
Correct. Yep. You can buy them separately or all
A set.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely separately. Yep.
It just makes sense to buy the set for me when I'm buying things. But if you just want to buy one, then you're not going to have that next size up. Or let's use the big one. Let's use the big one. I'll cut off some clay and I'll show you what I do when I don't have a form or a template. So, you know what? I'll actually walk you through the whole process. I'll bring the clay over because I think this is really good to see. So that's how I decide how much clay I need for a form. Because when you roll out, this was a full bag of Tucker clay. Well, this is a chunk of it. It's not the whole thing. But I rolled this out and then I cut a piece off that was just big enough to fit my board, not knowing what size I would need. So what I usually do is I take my form, whatever the form's going to be, and then you figure it's like wrapping paper. When you figure out how much wrapping paper you need, you roll it up, and then I make a little mark with my finger, lay it back down, roll it back up, make a little mark with my finger, and then flip it up, and we do the same down here. So this is a really rough shape. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. If you can see that outline, you can see it. Okay. But this is how I gauge it. Jeff, how do you gauge how big of a slab you need?
Because so I typically just lay the form onto the clay, and then since it's a 1-inch thick form, I will add at least an inch. So I might cut like about 1.5 inches or 2 inches even, just a rough cut all the way around the outside edge, and then kind of then drape it over, and then let it do its thing. So yeah.
That's kind of what I'm going to do. I did a little just like marking with my finger a tiny bit, but yeah, I think it's very similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
totally.
we'll smooth this down. So what I'm wanting to do here is wrap it all the way around and get it completely wrapped up the side. So this is how I would make a baking dish if I was going for that, or if it was going to be just a nice deep dish plate. Also, if I was going to make a wall piece, you call them Wallies, which I think is really funny because these would be great as like a wall piece that you'd make and hang on the wall. right?
Yeah,
Is that what you were thinking when you
totally.
named them?
No, I think, multiple options is always good, right? But
Always,
yeah, we talked
absolutely.
about that too, especially we have some other more other shapes that would kind of lend to that better, but yeah, than these trees. But yeah, it's definitely an option. So many options, right?
Absolutely. So I just center it approximately on there, and I'm going to flip the whole thing over. And then I'll just pop this off now. Jeff sells spacers, but I'm just going to use the smallest of the tree form as kind of a spacer to just hold this
Oh,
one up.
I love it. That's totally good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little improv, right? And then I'm just going to wrap the sides down. Now, this clay is very wet. I just rolled it out. Uh, don't let your clay set up if you want to do this wrapping. Do you find that you like wetter clay for this, Jeff?
You are, yeah, 100%. I think you hit it on the nail on the head. Yeah, totally. Especially if you want to squish the clay, which we probably need to on these corners.
Yeah.
The wet clay works really well.
And
Yeah.
I'm just, and yeah, exactly. And I think just trimming as I'm going, I'm not even using the rib right now. I'm just using my fingers. And what I want to do is, so you can trim it right up to the edge of the form underneath, or you can leave it a little taller. So you could actually make it a tiny bit deeper than the form if you want to,
Yeah.
leave a little excess. So
Totally.
it's entirely up to you. But these will wrap all the way around. I'm going to grab my red mud tool. I have to clean it up. I had porcelain on it last time I was using it, so I was going to clean that off and then just smooth down the sides. And I think, you know, the back here, if I wanted to go ahead and turn this into a wall piece, yeah, I can go back in once it's stiffened up to leather hard, and I can do Mishima or Sgraffito on it. I could even add an underglaze decal to it if I want to.
All kinds
Do
of
a,
fun.
yeah, like a stencil, like a Plum Island transfer. They have some great stencils, you know, or you can make your own. There's lots of surface decoration options. So I'm just going in and trimming up more of the clay. And all this clay can be wedged back up and reused. So it's not at all wasteful. You know, people who don't work in clay think that when you cut these scraps off, you can't use them. I'll see comments on videos all the time. Well, that's wasteful. And I'm like, no. We're going to wedge this up and put it back in the bag. And we're going to use this on something else. This is going to be another dish right here. There's no waste.
Just another day. Not
There's
today.
another dish, another day.
The
That's right.
beauty of the material is that we can always use it for something else.
Absolutely. You can always reclaim it and use it. So I've got a couple choices. I can let this sit up a bit more, and then I can come in with my clay knife and I can just run that along the edge and give myself a really nice crisp edge. I could lift this up and hold it up to about my eye level and come in with the knife and do that now if I don't want to wait. So it's just a matter of patience. Do you have any? Do you see how I just trimmed? Let's see. Maybe I can hold this up the camera too. Do you see how I just trimmed that? There you go. See how it's trimmed right up against the edge? The other thing you can do is get a taller banding wheel, and you could sit that on that. And then if you sit down at a counter height, you can easily go ahead and do this. Or wait till it's leather hard and you can go back with a serrator. I usually use one by Stanley. It's a Sureform tool, but there's a lot of companies that make them, and you go in and it's like a grater for clay, a clay grater. So how do you clean up your edge, Jeff, for your plates?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's both those directions, both those things you're saying, either the Sureform grater or the Stanley grater, or kind of leaving the edge kind of rounded over the edge. So yeah, there's so many options.
I'm going to go ahead and just to show everybody what's happening, I'm going to flip it over. But normally I would let this set on the form for a little while until it stiffened up, few hours, couple hours, potentially overnight if it's really humid in the studio. I need a GR Pottery form wear board.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
One thing I was figuring out too, it works really well just to kind of pull that out a second.
Yeah.
You got that pull part, and then you can put it back in. But to make sure that it keeps being loose, you don't want to make sure that it's
Yeah.
like there was a wet piece of clay that kept it stuck in there. So
Right. Because if it gets stuck, then it could crack as it's drying.
yeah, so now I would maybe even, if you needed to, reflip. If it really sagged hard, I'd flip it back over and then recompress it. But as long as it's kind of removed from that clay and it's not sticking.
Right. So if you want to keep it tight to the form, flip it back over. Right. So we'll do that. Flip it back over. You know, actually, the place it is now would be a great place to put a underglaze decal on it. So you could. This is where you have to make your big decision, right? If this is going to be a piece that you hang on a wall, you know, maybe you want to do something more artistic on it. If it's going to become a dish, you could put a, you know, decal on the inside. You could put decals on both outside, inside, right? So I think I'm going to make this a dish. I was thinking of making a wall hanging, but I really want to make it a dish. The Tucker Smooth Stone Spec you can use as bakeware. It's not as good of an option, but it will work. Absolutely will work. My favorite is the Laguna 60 or the Laguna 90. All right, so we're just going to wiggle it and release it. And I want to put an underglaze decal down in there. And I have got some right here, and they happen to be Christmas themed. And I have one I didn't use yet, and it's these. Have you seen these, Jeff? These,
yeah.
the light bulbs from Sambao. Aren't these fun? And so I got this last year, and I used a couple of them on something small. But I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut them up and put them on the inside of my form now, on my dish. So they can go on now instead of doing it when it was flat. You know, normally I try to do it when it was flat before I form it, but now we can stick it in the inside. But I think these will be really fun. They're the Christmas lights. And I'll still be able to go in and clean that edge up when it's stiffened up a bit more.
Totally.
All right.
Yeah,
So Jeff,
nice.
you have something there. We should go to you and you should show all that you have. We should have a little show and tell with you while I cut these out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have a couple different options here. Here's one of them kind of with those underglaze transfer.
Yeah.
Here's one, Jessica just talked about this edge. This one I used like a texture tool. You know, if you don't really like how that edge turns out, I just put a texture tool on that edge to kind of distract and make the glaze do fun things on that edge. So yeah. Yes. Let's see what else. And like here's a set here that has kind of a more rounded edge. And I know like Debbie Dela Cruz has some cutters now that you can cut this edge or cut it like a scalped edge. So and that would be.
I love that Debbie has cutters for these. That's great. All right. So I lost Jeff's audio, but that's okay. We're going to come back here and I'm going to put these in. So here I have my decals ready to go in. And again, I just trimmed them up so that they were more manageable. And I'm going to do we're going to do a little collaging with it a tiny bit. So I'm just going to stick this one here. But you see my line goes to there. I need a little something more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this little bit here. And I'm just going to piece this part in. And actually, I think I'm going to come in and lift this gently. And I'm going to take a little bit off this end of the decal. I don't think it's stuck quite yet. Go ahead if I can grab that out of there. Oh, it did stick. All right, let's go ahead and wipe it off. Okay, and we got Jeff back. Yay! All right, so I'm gonna.
What's that little Wi-Fi problem?
Yeah, that happens. So, but we got Jeff back. No worries. All right. So, and then if I wanted to go ahead and keep adding onto it, I could take some more, and I could take this little end bit over here. So when you use these underglaze decals, and I know that's not really what we're focused on tonight, but it's great to know how to use these things together. You can always just play with them and have fun and try new things, and totally can use them more like a collage. So I'm going to stick this one maybe going up like that. So we have to line it up.
Yeah, they're such a nice tool, right? They add so much to your piece. Kind of give
They
it.
really do. They really do. And they're really easy to work with. So this one I'm going to put on at an angle.
I feel like I'm back in second grade putting that temporary tattoo on my arm. You know, it's yeah,
Exactly.
like, this is living. You get to use the temporary tattoos on pottery.
Right. So this is our jobs, Jeff. So we get to do. I love it.
Uh-huh. But that's
And so,
sorry, go ahead. Yeah. I think
no, go ahead.
this is our hope is my hope and too is, and I know Jessica too, is to just encourage you to go out to that studio and try it. Just go for it. Just put stuff on there. And the
Absolutely.
more the better it's gonna look.
Absolutely. And I always tell people there's no right or wrong. There's just what makes you happy. And if you enjoy it, that's all that matters. Nothing else matters when you're making. Don't get hung up on anything else. Don't let other people into your head. You just go and have fun. So I have this one up here, and I'm going to put him on. Maybe I'll put him on going up the top. I don't know. Do I want him hanging down? Maybe I don't know. See, this is the chance to have a bit of a Bob Ross moment, right? We'll stick that in there.
Happy little
Like
ball. Yeah, nice
yeah.
wire.
Happy little ornament. Happy little. So then once you get your underglaze decal or transfer on there, I'll pat it on. So just pat that down to make sure it transfers. Because the clay is still pretty wet, it's going to transfer really well and really quickly. You saw that happen down here at the bottom when I was trying to pull it off. And I actually have more. I have a little extra. What do I do with this? I have a little string. Let's put him on. I'm just gonna just a random bit of light string coming out of the corner. Why not? I have it. Let's use it. I have more I could use too. You could fill this all up, and you could just keep trimming and attaching little sections, and you could add decals from other companies. You can mix them all up. And, we work with Sambow a lot. We work with Plum Island Transfers, Ceramica Transfers. There's a lot of great companies out there. So if you're in Canada, I do recommend Ceramica Transfers because that's where they're out of. And you'll save on shipping, definitely. I think you'll do better with the exchange rate if we buy in Canada. All right, let's see what happens.
Well, and too, like what I'm really happy about these Wallies is that you can really it's much easier to decorate after you form it. Or I don't say easier, but gives you an option to decorate that I never really intended when I made them. I was like, this is such a nice bonus to be able to since the clay is supporting itself a little easier, you can have a little more ways to add the wet glazes to the wet clay or the underglaze.
Absolutely. And I love that option because normally we have to be concerned about, the form collapsing on us if you try to put it on after making. But with these, you don't have to worry about that. The other thing is, and you probably did that with the one you showed with the transfers, you could use the form as your template, lay it on your underglaze decal and cut this shape out here, right? Trace this, cut this out from your decal and then nest it down inside. Is that how you did yours, Jeff, that you have there?
Yeah, or even what I did too is because it's got it on the sides too. I just cut that. I did the same thing, but then I just cut an angle on each of the corners. Just made a cut to overlap with each other, and kind of fit in there. And I cut the excess off after you got the clay done too. So yeah, lots of
release cut. So I feel like I want to add one more down at the very bottom there, and that's the great thing about this is I can see what it looks like right now. I can grab what color do we want? Yellow? Yeah, let's grab a little yellow one. I can grab my sheet and cut one off And I have nutcrackers. I have all kinds of them over here. We could spend the whole hour doing nothing but this, but we're not gonna, but we could.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's the joy, right? It kind of, you can escape into the decorating part.
Well, and everybody's going to do it differently. So you might have the same form, you might have the same underglazed decals, but yours will not look the same as mine. And that's what makes it so great. So each one is unique and you get to make it yours.
Yep.
So I'll pounce that a bit and then we'll just let it sit and we'll pull it up. And then I want to make one with the meat. I haven't used the medium. So let's use that too. I'm going to use them all, Jeff. I got to use them all.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, let's see if this sat long enough. So the great thing is you guys are getting an idea of real time, how quickly this can go with these. Look at how beautiful that transfer. It's so good. I'm going to bring it up close, really close. So the one I just did is that yellow one in the bottom corner. See how it's kind of coming in, sweeping in from the side. And I definitely had fun with the dangling at the top. It looks like I put the lights on the tree. And if I wanted to, I could actually take this one here and add another piece on to connect it. And I could do the same down here. So you could just keep going with this design. You don't have to stop. And I might do that later after the broadcast. I might sit there and add more and add more and add more. And that is, like Jeff was saying, the great thing about this. All right, so I'm going to stick these somewhere safe because I don't want to get the ones I didn't use wet. And we'll put this off to the side and let's grab some more clay and let's see if there's any request on. So Stephanie says, please say hi to Jeff and thank you for the Wallie tree. She met you at Diamond Core Tools for a grpotteryform demo in San Diego. And it was so great. Thank you. Thank you. I'm making along with Jessica with my new Wallie trees. Yay. I love that you're making along with me with the tree that you got with Jeff.
I didn't get to tell you all the ClayShare people I got to see over the weekend in California. So yeah, they all
I'm so jealous. Hello. Oh, yeah. Hi everybody. I'm so jealous.
I don't know if you'd be jealous if you really knew. I did like 5 different demos in like 4 days. So.
You're pretty wiped out, you're saying.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't get home till like 11 o'clock last night. So.
Oh my gosh, you just got home last night? I didn't
got home
know.
last night. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But yeah, lots of fun members I got to meet. Aardvark open house and
yeah.
And then I was at Diamond Core Monday afternoon. A couple other studios in between. Yeah, ClayShare members represent.
Jeff's the most traveling man in pottery, I will tell you. Nobody travels like Jeff.
Yeah.
We need t-shirts for your tour, Jeff. Like you need to do like rock band versions.
Yeah, that's right. The GR Jeff tour. That's right. Anybody's welcome to come along. Yeah.
And people, we would have.
How long it'll last? How long you gotta, how long you can make it with GR Jeff?
Can you make the whole tour? Can you do the whole tour? No, don't say things like this. Kevin's trying to buy a camper, and that would just be like, oh, we could get a camper, and we'll go with Jeff too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. See, listen.
I'll get a tour bus then. Yeah.
Kevin will be having the merch tent where he'll be selling the tour t-shirts, he's saying. Oh my goodness.
Well, if you're gonna just have to get a tour bus, then too, like that's my ultimate dream though, is to be a tour bus driver, tell jokes and stop at every pottery and good food place along the way. So
that would be very fun.
Yeah.
All right. So what shall we do now? We've used the we've done the cutout. We've done one where we wrapped it all the way around. So it works really well with either way. I mean, you could do release cuts, but I didn't need to. Do you ever need to do release cuts with these to get them wrapping around the corners?
Yeah, actually doing those kind of, I think how Deb does it, she taught me how to do it in a sense too with those with the other Wallies is just draping it over and pushing it down onto the board, not having a spacer in between.
And just
And then,
do it that. Let's do that.
yeah, because then
Let's do that.
you can cut outside of the
Yeah, I don't have her cutters for this, so we're gonna have to wing it. But
Oh, winging
um,
it.
we didn't plan that well. So let's just do it that way, where we drape it without a spacer, and we just drape.
Debbie said she would do a couple stops on the tour if she
Debbie's gonna. Yes. Woo! So Jeff will have support acts. There'll be like the opening acts along the way. And so depending on where the tour is going to be, it could be, Debbie doing one leg. We get everybody on board. We get Plum Island Transfers on board, maybe Clay. I don't know, everybody who wants to come on.
Yes.
Not everybody. All right, so I'm pulling the clay towards the form, and that is really the key to make this working, is you need to pull the clay towards it. And I'm just using this little flexible red rib to do so. I'm using the curved side, but absolutely, I mean, maybe the flat side works a little better. I don't know. I think it's 6 1, half a dozen the other. And if you had a cutter, like Debbie's awesome cutters, this would be your chance. You would then cut straight down, correct? Over the form with the cutter if you have them. But this was a little late getting put together. So
No, I don't think we need it. That's the cutters are a sweet option. That's for for the pros, for us non-pro pros, we just have a knife.
We're gonna do a knife cut, and we'll see how good I can freehand cut it with a wiggle. I'm gonna do a wiggle.
Yeah, a knife cut here.
Yeah, that's nice. You see, let's go to Jeff and show his knife cut that he did.
Yeah.
You did great. It's like you know what you're doing. All right, so I will. I didn't leave enough clay on the top to do a fancy star like you did, but I will do scallops. So we'll just start with scallops, and I'll just leaving about, oh gosh, I don't know, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. I'm so bad at measurements, so we're not going to hold me to anything I say.
You go for it.
Yeah, I'm totally freehanding it. I'm just doing scallops, and just.
Here's a little pro tip. If you want to clean it up less, you want to make less scallops.
Ah, there you go.
If you make a lot of scallops, then you got to fuss with it a lot, like clean up the edges. So make less.
Apparently, I'm in for the fussing because.
That's good. Yeah. That's all good.
Let's pull these off. All right, so look at that. We'll go to the overhead. And you can see all the little scallops. Yeah. And then I'll just take a damp finger, and I mean, they're a little uneven, so I can go back and trim them up to make them even. That's the beauty of the cutter, though, because you get the cutter and they're going to match. It's going to be perfect every time. So if you could also make a template, if you wanted to, but a damp finger, and you can just drag it along, or a sheet of plastic you could lay on here and just rub the plastic, and that'll compress and help round over your edges here. Now for this one, I'm going to still flip it over because it has a little bit of a lip that's sticking out. It could slump a tiny bit, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. Let me see what I got.
I feel like
it'll be good?
This is a great method if you're having trouble like with the other method you did. If people are having trouble with that top looking like thin and thick, this is a really good way to kind of make that outside edge more even if you cut outside of the wood.
I really love how this flares out and has a softer edge.
Yeah.
Normally I would let it stay in the form a tiny bit longer because it would hold it a little bit, but I like this little rounded edge. So this is kind of what you would get with, here, we'll go to camera 2. So this is what you would get if you had like cutters, or you made your own, or you just free cut like I did, which it worked. It
Yeah.
worked. I am going to go in and trim it up to make it a little more even. You might not be able to tell, but because I freehand cut it, it's a little, one side's got a little bit bigger scallops than the other. Eh, I mean, maybe once it's glazed and fired, who knows? Who's going to pay attention?
Yeah, that's really what they want. They want that individual attention. They know it's handmade.
That's right. So people want to know that it's that it. So this could be the kind of present like I give to my mom, right?
Yeah.
Because I hand cut it and it's uneven, and she would still love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we did that. Where are we at for time? Well, we've got a few more minutes. So we have about 8 minutes left. So I'm going to grab, I got some more clay. So I'm going to grab it and we're going to work on doing the small ones because
Luann mentioned that I am going on tour in October to Ireland and the UK and the Netherlands. So
yeah, let's go over to Jeff for a second so he can tell us about his tour, UK leg of the tour.
pack your bag, pack your bags. Yeah, come on tour. We're going to Scarva in Northern Ireland and Dublin, and then we're gonna fly over the pond to the other little pond to UK and go to Stoke-on-Trent and be there at Pot Clays. I know a lot of from Pot Clays may be joining and these workshops. I'm doing workshops all these around the way there, so you'll find them if you check out these suppliers, and then going to Putnam-Phillips in the Netherlands for the final leg of the trip. So yeah, so come on, I'm leaving on the 16th of October, so get your tickets. Let's go.
I need my tickets. I need to come. I need to go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do one. Yeah, I'm going to do one that is going to be Christmassy, but I'm going to do the bayberry, right? I'm going to put the texture on the inside again. So I'm just going to roll that across all the clay. That's so exciting, Jeff. All this travel you're doing right now.
I know it's a little addictive, and you know, you get all these opportunities to come. So yeah, and
Well, I mean, it's so great. You get to get out there and meet everybody and see everyone. And also, I think it's great. One, you get to teach people about using your products and just ceramics in general, teach people pottery lessons. But it's also great to hear what people think about what you're doing, you know, and so that you can get feedback on stuff. I think
totally.
that's always great. I think I can get 2
Yeah.
out of this. Well, maybe. This one's going to be a little smaller. We're going to free do the second one. Okay. So the first one we are going to do, because we can do a press plate. The second one, we're going to just free form it because I don't have quite enough clay. And I think I am, let me see. Do I want to grab no, I'll use the big one. I just feel like this is ridiculously large, but okay. It's kind of fun to see, isn't it?
Oh, I got to see Christina in at Diamond Court. She even brought me some
Oh,
amazing baklava. Oh, it's still warm. Oh, it's so good.
oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I think all the staff, they were like, "Is
They
it
were
warm
jealous.
around here?" But
They're
staff too. Oh man, those ClayShare members, they're the sweetest.
I know. They're great. That's why they're our ClayShare family. And you know, you're part of our ClayShare family. Jeff, you and I think part of the ClayShare family before it was ClayShare family. Like you were supporting me when I was when I was working as an artist on my own when I didn't have ClayShare, correct? Weren't you with me before I started
It
ClayShare?
was very close to the beginning, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. Very close. Maybe
Yeah.
right at the beginning. I can't quite remember, honestly.
Yeah. I think you might
Because you
have
just
built the site out and then you know, just starting to get going. So yeah, I think it was probably live before met you, but yeah.
it was right soon after, not long after.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just gonna flip this one over. And I don't have a lot of clay for this, but that's okay. I'm just gonna use the scrap clay up there's no wasting. We're going to use it all. And again, I'll trim this, but this is definitely one that I will come back with the Freeform and finish, because you're going to see it's not going to be even at all. The edges are going to be completely uneven because the clay I'm working with is uneven. But they don't have to all be the exact same size. They can, but they don't have to be. So when you're making these, if you make one that has a deeper side than the other, it's perfectly fine. You know what they say about variety? Makes cool pots. All right, so I'm just going to smooth this down and on the sides as well. And we'll flip this one over. We'll just use this bigger one. And this is what I was talking about for the edge. Do you see how it's really, really uneven? We'll go to, see? If you do an edge like that, it's okay. I think you have to throw this out. Just let it sit up. You can use a Freeform and you can fix it once it's leather hard. You can go in if you want to a little sooner, and you can trim a tiny bit off with your knife. And if you do that and you change the shape at all, go ahead, put it back in, press it back around. You can flip it over to press it around, or you can just press it up against the side like I'm doing here. And then I like to let it stiffen up until it's a good solid leather hard. And then I use that Freeform, and it really is like a cheese grater for your clay. And it really does a great job of taking the excess off and bringing these edges down. And I'll actually film doing this when this is ready, and I'll put that little quick video up. So what did we make tonight? Let's take a look at it. We used the medium-sized form and did 2 pressed plates. So that was our guide. So we did these 2. Maybe camera 2 is better, right? We did these 2. Then we used the largest one where we wrapped the clay around, and we used the little sandbow underglaze decals and made this really cute decorated one. And this one, we can't forget, the one that we made with the scalloped edges. So multiple ways. And then the one we used, the leftover clay, the little scrap clay, instead of just wedging it up and using it for something else, we've made a little dish that I will then go ahead and just kind of clean up the edge, and it'll be fine once it's all done. So there we have it. All right. So Jeff, do you have anything you want to add? Anything else you want to share with us?
That's one thing. The new thing on the Wallies is they have this inside cutout, and these are called finger pulls, so that if you have a hard time pulling it out of the clay, you can use it as leverage to get it out of the clay, or hold on to this inside part.
I noticed those. I think those are brilliant. Yeah, those are a really nice addition. I was thinking of that when I was doing that big one, and it was wrapped really tightly around.
Yeah, especially the ones right.
Yeah, you just pop it right out. So it makes it easy to put it back in, shape it around tightly.
Yeah.
And then pop it right back out.
Yeah, so we had to kind of determine whether we were going to have a hole in the middle or not. And so really you could add a hole if you really needed to add a spacer, but we are just going to leave these as poles for now, and that'll be something on your own to do that. So yeah,
I like the poles. I like the poles.
Yeah.
And one thing we didn't talk about, we made dishes, but like I mentioned, this shape could be great for a wall piece to hang it up for wall decoration. Also, I think they could stand up really nicely too. You do a little support in the back, just put another piece perpendicular to it of clay, and it would hold itself up. I mean, you could even use the next size down tree, cut it in half. Well, you could cut one of these in half, right? Lay this on clay and cut the shape out, cut it in half, and just stand it up and attach it to the back, and it would hold it up. And you could have a little forest. You could make and put it all over your counters or on your credenza or wherever you want to have them.
Yeah. All kinds of fun.
So much fun. And you have lots of new stuff coming this month with us. So Jeff's the sponsor for the month of October. Although there's one day you're not going to be with us. because there's 5 weeks in October, 5 Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So one Wednesday, Jeff's going to take a break. I think you're not here. I think you're traveling.
I'll be in England. Somebody was asking then. So yeah. Yep.
So that week, we're going to have Paula McCoy join us from Colors for Earth. So we're going to have a little break in the Jeff program, but then you'll be back. So it's only one week. All right. So Jeff, you're doing a giveaway. You're offering a set of 3 of these tree forms.
Yeah.
They're pretty sweet. So we're going to announce a winner here in a second. If you want to know how to enter our giveaways, you just go to ClayShare.com and sign up for the email list. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Premium members of ClayShare are always automatically entered. You don't have to do anything. You just always win. That's it. And then when we have a giveaway, you're in it. And we pull a number. Everybody's name and account is associated with a number. And that's just how it all works. And everybody's number changes because membership changes and they go up and down and all that. But that's stuff you don't need to worry about. That's just logistics. Anyhow, we pulled a number and that number coincides to a name, and that's this name right here. So tonight's winner of the set of 3 Pottery form Wallie stacking trees, nesting trees, do you call them? Because they can nest, is Laura Shue. Laura, you, my dear, have got yourself a set of Pottery forms Wallie's trees. And I know some new stuff that's coming that you guys are going to be so excited about. And Laura, you're going to love these. I hope you watch this video again and use what I've done so that you know what to do with these. Now, one of our members, I said, made candy corns. So what they did is they used these like I did here with the deep form, just where I wrapped it around, but didn't put the underglaze decal in. Instead, when they went ahead to glaze it, it looked like they did underglaze colors in stripes of candy corn. So like a band of white, orange, yellow, and then just put glaze on top and glazed it. And it looked amazing. So candy corn ideas, if you get these and you want to use them right now for the fall, you don't want to do Christmas things, you don't have to. Also, it's a tree. Trees are all the time. So, I mean, I have trees all year long outside at my house. So not just at Christmas. That's right. Trees are all the time. I'm getting laughter in my ear about trees are all the time.
But the other side of the thing besides tree is pie.
Oh, geez, let's go to Jeff. Let's go back to Jeff. Jeff, yeah, why don't you tell us about that? What else are they? They're good for.
What these make lovely ramekins for like a maybe
Yeah.
you have to use this one for Kevin, but
they'd be great for pie. I was thinking pizza. So how fun would it be to make a slice of pizza? And if you have a pizza party, everybody's plate is the big one, right? And you just pass it out and you decorate it. How cute would it be? Because you could do the yellow for the cheese, and then you could do little circle pepperonis on here or mushrooms. You could do tailored for the people in your family. So like my daughter who loves black olives and spinach, I could put black olives and spinach on her pizza. My other daughter loves meat, so she would be like pepperoni and ham. And like I like all pizza, but you know, I'd pick something, maybe margarita pizza. I'd go ahead and do something looking like that. Maybe put some mushrooms and green peppers on a piece. So anything in this shape, you could really have a good time with and have a lot of fun. So don't think of these as only Christmas. They could be for anything. I'm sure you guys out there have some other things. You look at the shape and you're like, oh, I see this, right? So it looks like a mouse, Ouija board a little, maybe a Ouija thingy. I don't know. With Halloween coming, I've seen lots of Halloween-esque things. So I don't know. Oh, it looks like the face of a cartoon reindeer, I was told.
Oh yeah.
Right? So you could paint little nose down here and the eyes, and then the antlers would be just coming out, little tiny antlers up here. So you could do a lot of fun things with this shape. All right, so Jeff is doing 20% off. Is that all month long, Jeff? That code?
It's going to be all month long, yeah.
All month long with the code ClayShare, and you can save 20% all October, thanks to Jeff. Yeah. So you can go to Pottery Forms and get yourself some forms if you've been waiting to pick them up. Now is the time to get them.
You have to do a little work. You have to type it in to the word.
You have to type it in. you have to do work. Yeah.
Code. It's not automatic.
So you have to type it in. That's tough, Jeff. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So what do you got for us next week, Jeff? You coming back? Are you
Yeah.
demoing next week, or am I back doing it?
I think I might be next week. I think
You might work. You might work.
Yeah, give you the kind of let you comment on me but yeah, we're gonna do RD2s, the new shapes we have in RD2s, which are
RD2s.
yeah,
Yes.
rounded 2-inch edge, ovals, squares,
The
triangles. I mean, not triangles, rectangles.
The
Yeah.
rectangle, the squares, and the ovals. I just got those too. I was very excited to see those in the box. So I'm going to be using them. I actually have a class that I had planned to do back during Diamond Core Tools Month in August, but I think I'm going to use your forms for that class. And it's a surface decoration, but we got to make something with the forms. So you need a surface to decorate on. So we're going to use your forms to get our surface. So, all right, awesome. Well, thank you, Jeff, for being here with us tonight and being the sponsor for the entire month of October. Thank you, everybody else, for being here with us. And check out Jeff's website. It's grpotteryforms.com, and you can follow him on Instagram and on Facebook. You can find me on ClayShare. You can follow me at clayshare.com. That's our website. You could download the ClayShare app. You can go to ClayShare's Facebook page, ClayShare's Instagram page.
You can also find me on YouTube, which is just my name, Jess Putnam-Phillips. Why didn't I do Jessica? I don't know. Who knows? We don't know. Maybe I just felt like shortening the name for the day. But you can go follow me there too as well. I've got a bunch of videos on YouTube, not all pottery related, but mostly. So there's a little side quest happening on YouTube sometimes. But everybody else, thank you for being here. Premium members, we are making these next. You all asked, I am delivering. We're making these super cute gnome sweater mugs. Look how sweet these are. I made these a few years ago for Kevin and I to have our holiday drinks in. And I've had so many requests over the years to make these. Now I do have a sweater mug classes, but not this exact one. And if you don't like gnomes, well, I mean, who doesn't like gnomes? No, there's people who don't like gnomes. That's okay. You can use any little character or friend you want to put on the surface, and I will show you that as well. So that class is only for my premium members, and that starts at 6:15 tonight. So I'll see you all in just a minute.